This is super cool. The girls have gone for a sleepover. It's the first time any of us have slept off the boat for nearly a year. But yeah, Tilly and Darcy have gone over to Manchetti to have a sleepover with Jess. How sweet is that? Lovely. Anyway, they forgot the toothbrushes, so I'm just going over to the neighbours.
And then onto our new favourite hobby, lost property hunting.
A lost and found box in every anchorage we go to. You get like a floating wicker basket with like I'm buoyed on an anchor. Every time I go swimming, find some new ones. Look, like a perfectly good pair of swim shorts there. Lovely. Check this out. We found a 15-second job. This product is advertised as having a 15-second job. What doesn't factor in is it took me over 6 minutes to find them. Then I had to go get the bosun's chair, which took me a while because I had to tidy up the kids' bed so I could get out of the bosun's chair. And now I've got to get hoisted at the mast to do the work. But apart from that, it's 15 seconds.
Anyone who lives on a boat will tell you there is no such thing as a quick job. These are spreader socks, put on the spreaders to stop the sail catching on the spreaders. Have fun! Having boat neighbours with toys is always fun. Hugh went off to do some foil boarding with Todd, whilst we just chilled. We're up early, we've been monitoring the weather quite closely, and there's some nasty wind coming through today. So we're making sure everything's tidied up, tied down outside, and we're also going to re-anchor, making sure our anchor is in the right alignment to give us a better chance of not skidding across the anchorage. It wouldn't be long before we had our new anchor, but for now we were borrowing our friend's spade, and we still felt a bit insecure.
That's amazing. It's like, you can see where it's set. It's gone back about a metre, but it's gone under everything in the entire shank. All of it's under the mud. That's like the best set ever. That's worth digging in.
The spade was such an upgrade from our CQR, but it's a bit undersized for our huge boat. So we also put out a kedge just to make sure that we didn't slip. The storm didn't come to very much, but at least we were ready. The next day, and a wonderful treat, Hugh's parents had come to the island. Not only was it wonderful to see them, but they also brought with them our new Viking anchor. We were so excited to unbox it.
So it's time to take us off this extra anchor, the V anchor. We're doing it a new way. Kelvin's winching the boat up onto it. You're nearly there, just there.
Look at how well the kedge anchor had set though.
It's a new record haul. Look at all that mud.
In order to make this anchor swap, we found ourselves a mooring block. It wasn't being used, so we tied ourselves on.
It's not even a big one. Scott's one, isn't it?
Yeah, it was upside down. Dun, 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 dun. Shiny! This is the Viking 20. Hugh did a huge amount of research when choosing a new anchor. If you want to learn more, he thoroughly recommends the YouTube channel SV Panape. Steve on that channel has done the marine world a great service over the last decade, reviewing hundreds of anchors. Our old CQR was designed in the 1930s, There are many sailors who still swear by them. However, we are not convinced. A few weeks ago in Santa Ponsa, we had several days of consistent land and sea breezes, meaning Esperance swung back and forth every afternoon and evening, almost like the turning of the tide. We were in 5 meters of crystal clear water over sand, and we watched as our anchor drew pretty patterns as it dragged back and forth across the sand. In the past, we would have let out a lot more chain. However, as the start of the main season was upon us, the anchorages were filling up and we couldn't justify having such a big swing circle. Sailors use the term scope to define the ratio between chain or rode let out to depth. It is normal practice to have something like 4 to 6 times scope, so in 5 metre depth, this would be 20 to 30 metres. In Santa Ponsa, we had 50 metres out, and our anchor was still dragging with every wind shift. This meant that with Esperance's 15 metre length, our swing circle was 130 metres, even before the extra distance required for our old CQR anchor to make up its mind and dig in and settle down. With all the summer sailors turning up, claiming a spot like that in the Balearics was nigh on impossible. Think of like pitching your tent in an overcrowded festival field, but the tents of the field keep moving. In the end, Hugh was permanently on alert, re-anchoring several times to keep us in the middle of our patch. Over the last few decades, anchor technology has leapt forward with the arrival of many new products coined super high holding power anchors. These anchors are so named as they meet the requirements of having 4 times the holding power of an equivalent weight conventional anchor. The first anchors ever used were probably just like rocks tied to a piece of rope, a heavy weight on a line to stop your boat drifting away. Boats are restricted on how big a weight that they can carry on board, and crucially, how much they can lift off the seabed to prevent their anchors becoming a single-use product. After weight, the secret to increased holding power is shape. The days of the conventional anchor shape that we all know from cartoons and tattoos has gone. The new generation of super high holding power anchors are very nifty things. They have all been designed to dig into the seabed and submerge themselves beyond as much ground as possible to add this resistance to the holding power. Much like how a very thin and weedy tent peg can hold a highly tensioned guy rope, when set properly, a modern anchor can provide much more holding than would be obtained by its mere weight alone. The next challenge for these modern anchor designs comes in the many varied conditions that need to be adapted to, not only the possible variation in seabeds such as sand, clay, mud, shale, weed, etc., but the all-important setting and resetting. These modern anchors are a marvel. You can drop them any way up, and quick as a flash, they right themselves and start digging into the ground. Then, if currents shift, they dig themselves up, dust themselves off, and dig in again with the shortest possible distance. Well, that's what their manufacturers claim anyway. And there are so many manufacturers claiming their product is top dog. That's why we turned to the aforementioned anchoring YouTube channel, SV Panopay. As you can see, Steve from the channel has tested many anchors in a variety of seafloors and conditions and given a very clear and easily interpretable score. His system is not flawless, but most agree it's an invaluable resource for those of us trying to get our heads around the topic for the first time. The reality is, any of these new modern anchors would improve our situation drastically. However, in the end, we went with the Viking 20. Not only did it score highest in Steve's tests by weight, but was one of the most affordable, and was designed by a couple who had previously cruised the Mediterranean and had got fed up with their old CQR anchor. Sounds familiar. One of Hugh's favourite features is the parallels he can draw with his own engineering background, inventing the world's first plastic trombone, where he proved that shape was crucial. Most other manufacturers recommend a 36 to 40 kilogram anchor for Esperance. Our new Viking is only 20 kilograms, but is designed to deliver equivalent holding due to its vast surface area. It has a thin, knife-like profile that cuts deep into the substrate and high tensile strength to take the loads it will be subjected to. We were very excited about this lump of metal, but no more so than Hugh and Chris from Ragdoll, who raced straight over to have a look and help with the assembly.
Weight equals performance to the 40.
Yeah,
the 40.
I believe it now.
Because the point is, it's not about the weight, it's about the
The shape, yeah.
One of their original design concepts with the Viking, one of the things they tested early on was having this blade both ways, concave and convex.
God, it's everything I would change about the M1.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's probably about half the weight of the tip. That's a 50%.
I've got you mean like in terms of where
tip to weight
it
ratio.
just wants to go over, doesn't it? It's going to land. It's going to land up there. Any way it lands, it's going to end up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what the roll bar's for. I get it now.
And then as soon as you pull on here, it's just going to go.
Yeah.
That's going to go along the seabed being pulled like that, and that's just going to start. As soon as that starts digging,
Wow.
getting under the mud, it's going to put it into the upright position. Because
Yeah.
once the mud's here, it just goes under.
Okay, you can't.
We can't geek up with them.
They were geeking out big style.
But it's crazy to see 25 versus 20. It's the
Oh yeah,
difference in
that's so much
volume is-
lighter. So much lighter.
And then the next problem, how are we going to mount the thing?
Start bringing that chain in, Carol.
It's well jammed up under.
Yep.
But it is.
It's not going to go anywhere, is it?
No.
You can always lash it up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be. I'm going to have a couple of these made up
Yeah.
in position. Perhaps one of them on a bungee instead.
See if you put an eye screw eye on there.
Nice.
Some great problem solving. And there it was. However, we weren't going to test it out just yet. The next day we were off on an adventure. It was Hugh's birthday. Being on the mooring block meant that for the first time in months, we felt confident enough to leave the boat and go out for the day. We were hoping that when we set the new anchor, this will be the same, but for now we still have trust issues, so staying on the mooring block seemed like a good idea. We were off to Alcudia, and as you can see, everyone was really excited.
Buster's here.
He's coming in fast.
It was true. We've been taking a very slow mode of transport for the last year, so to be going on a bus felt really strange.
This is bad.
This is really weird. I haven't been used to going fast for ages.
Looking back at the footage, it doesn't look that fast, but everything is relative, right? We found a very British sticker on the back of the seat. Alcudia is known for its amazing beaches, but today we were visiting the Old Town with Hugh's parents. First, a walk along the old city walls.
And one way you could do this is you could shut the door and then just fire a bunch of arrows at them. And then,
This is where Harry Potter came to have a battle.
There are 26 of these round towers, I said. Sorry, square towers. 26 of these, and the point about them is that the arrows will cover the gap in between, won't it?
Off to find the market.
In dishwasher, it's okay. Not in the oven.
Clever. Can't have any force. Is that dried mango, Kelvin?
So the stalk comes out. It's really difficult.
This is a game that Sarah used to play with her sister. You dangle the cherry by the stalk and then you've got to try and get it into your mouth without using your hands.
This is a big moment for Daddy.
Pants, thin, polo.
Yeah, come on. Choose. I've still got £36 left to spend on you.
In my budget.
Yeah, you've got 36.
€8 on 3 pairs of pants. Well, you can choose which ones you want, Kelly.
Quite a responsibility, seeing as Hugh walks around in his pants most of the time these days.
I've got a monkey in here, look, as well.
There you go, Granny.
It wasn't just markets. We then went to visit some Roman ruins.
The most important.
You'll never know.
Imagine Romans being here.
Because we're only on this 3 sites. This is only number 1.
Do not step on the ruins, Eric.
You can go around it, just not step on the ruins.
Oh, nice.
You look like a
Back to Palenka and Hugh's birthday meal with a view. One more attempt at the cherry game, before it was time to say goodbye as they were leaving the island the next day.
Bye-bye. It's been really lovely seeing you all and enjoying watching you having good sort of swims and things. Look after yourselves. See you soon. Yeah, go on, have a really good time.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
Dad, I just...
When we got back, a bigger boat turned up and wanted to reclaim the mooring block. So we were forced into testing our new Viking anchor sooner than anticipated. We did the very British thing of helping them to tie on whilst getting evicted.
We had an unplanned quick outing for the new anchor. We haven't got the proper shackle on yet, but I was teaching and someone came along and we had to move. We had to get off that buoy. It's been completely empty for weeks and today was the day. The day we were trying to put a new shackle on the anchor. Anyway, should have nicked that mooring buoy. So we're getting the anchor back up. It's going to be interesting in a moment. It's the first drop of the Viking and we're going to see whether it dug itself in. It's a bit of wind. If it's gone well, it's going to be virtually impossible to get the anchor up. We didn't even dig it in, so let's just see. It was all such a rush. Yeah. Well, I don't know, it's not up yet. Oh, it dug in. We're going over the top of it now. Yeah, look at that amount of sand on that first time. Didn't even dig it in. Kel, it's absolutely covered in mud. We didn't even dig it in.
Oh yeah, no.
That doesn't even need digging in.
No, it did it itself. We did come.
Good news for a rush job. Anyway, it was time to change the shackle and re-anchor properly.
Shout in a minute, I'll get Kelly to try and dig it in. Oh. Right, we're going to give the anchor a go. We haven't dug it in yet. I'm going to dive down and have a look at the dig it in process of the anchoring. Let's find out. Kel, start backing down on it. Slowly build up the rev.
I can see why Hugh and Chris were getting so excited. Look at how it just disappears. You reverse progressively harder to simulate strong winds. This is how you set the anchor.
Okay, more. It's so set in, it's brilliant. The whole thing's under the mud apart from the bar.
Oh yeah.
Cool, that was great to watch. Oh, that's so positive. That just set within its own length. Bish bash bush. That's under the soil. So we can rest easy. A little bit more chain. Put a dampening bridle on to absorb the shock. And we're set. Happy days.
Chris came over and gave us a soft shackle that he had made and helped Hugh to set up our new bridle system. A bridle is a length of rope that connects the anchor chain to Esperance's mooring cleats. Its purpose is to take the load off the anchor windlass. The bridle can also act as a shock absorber by fitting mooring compensators. When the boat is pitching and yawing in high winds or seas, the anchor chain gets pulled tight and creates a powerful snatching force. By dampening that shock load, we can drastically reduce the chance of the anchor dragging, or of anything breaking.
Yeah. Oh, we're already feeling much happier, aren't we, Kev?
I've still got trust issues, but I think I'll get there. I'll get there.
I'll hopefully give it a couple of months and we'll stop.
It wasn't long before the anchor was put to the test. What a difference this is going to make to our lives. Thanks, Viking anchors. We think that we've made the right choice.
Yeah.